Good day, my name is Bema Haladi. On this slide, I'll be talking about the role of cortisol in work attitudes and behaviors, focusing on how it affects team performance and leadership, using Muthu's case as an example. Cortisol is commonly known as the stress hormone. It plays a major role in how people react to pressure in the work environment. When cortisol levels rise, it strongly influences how employees feel and perform. While serotonin and dopamine regulate motivation and social connection, cortisol is a stress hormone that works with the brain to control mood changes, fear, motivation, and workplace behavior. Mothu's leadership and work environment contribute heavily to increased cortisol levels, which led to high workplace stress, poor relationships, and low emotional support. This lack of social bonds and emotional understanding in the workplace creates low morale and high turnover. Therefore, team members feel unsupported, which lowers performance. The core neurotransmitter being cortisol. In Mothu's situation, his leadership style is noticed by high expectations and limited emotional support. This is likely to increase cortisol levels in team members.
I'm Nokwazi Tusi, and I'll be talking about the proposed evidence-based solutions to mitigate cortisol and improve team health. The first solution is leadership and emotional intelligence development. Leadership involves the process of guiding and influencing people to achieve jointly established goals, while emotional intelligence, as outlined by Goldman, is the ability for being attentive to understand and regulate one's own emotions and other people's emotions. With transformational leadership theory and Goldman's emotional intelligence model, emotionally intelligent leaders aspire through inspiration, empathy, and connection rather than control or intimidation. Low emotional intelligent leaders will exhibit more transactional behavior, building stress and cortisol release within the team. With the development of emotional intelligence, the leaders like Muthu can manage emotions, build trust, and create psychological safety, reducing work-related tension and improving team well-being. For individuals like Muthu, the solutions create self-awareness and self-management that reduce individual stress and maximize relational effectiveness. For teams, it enhances communication, empathy, and reduce interpersonal conflict. And for organizations, it develops a culture of emotionally intelligent, transformational leaders that maximize engagement and retention. The supporting evidence is that high intelligence leadership is linked to less employee burnout and better well-being. The solution for individuals like the staff is benefiting from the rewards of increased motivation, better coping, and emotional and career support. For the team, it enhances psychological safety, trust, and cooperation, and minimizes conflict between people. For the organization, it enhances employee agreement and retention and social relationships. The evidence is that healthy working relationships and mentoring reduce stress and enhance performance in hybrid teams. The second solution is mentoring and intentional connection in hybrid teams. Mentoring is a developmental relationship in which an individual learns from someone's more experienced how to grow and learn in the workplace. Intentional connection refers to making conscious efforts to maintain social and emotional relationships in teams, more particularly multi-kind work groups. Drawing from social support theory and social capital theory, work social relations attenuate cortisol reactivity and act as buffers for stress. In integrated environments where loneliness is more predominant, stressor, formal mentoring schemes, and institutional connection hours foster a sense of belongingness, trust, and togetherness.
My name is Lily Claire, and I'll be talking about the third solution, which is redesigning performance and development systems. Performance management is a continuous process of identifying, measuring, and developing employee performance in alignment with organizational goals. Traditional annual reviews cause anxiety and cortisol releases by triggering a perceived threat response. According to self-determination theory, employees perform best when their autonomy, competence, and relatedness needs are satisfied. A continuous performance management model centers on ongoing check-ins and growth-focused feedback, reducing stress but enhancing engagement. For the staff, it feels more intrinsic motivation and less threat of appraisal. For the team, feels clarity and frequent communication to achieve maximum growth and teamwork. And for the organization, it establishes an environment that promotes maximum resistance, learning, and participation. The evidence shows that continuous performance systems enhance productivity and reduce stress.
Hello, my name is Lebetu, and I'll be evaluating the internal and external team of Moto in his team. So we start by the strengths, which are the internal positive factors. Number one, we have improved communication and relationships. That means that training will help Moto express himself respectfully and listen to his staff, improving trust and teamwork. We also have developing emotional intelligence. There would be an increase in empathy, stress control, and self-awareness, which are vital for good leadership. Nextly is continuous learning. Moto's progress can motivate other leaders to take an emotional intelligence training, creating a culture of learning and improvement in the workspace. And we have number 4, which is improves work-life balance. This basically means that the case study told us that Moto was dealing with marriage and personal stress. This training that we will introduce will help him manage both his personal and work emotions. We will have the weaknesses, which are the internal negative factors, which are slow results. Behavioral change doesn't happen quickly, and it may take months of consistent effort for change to finally occur. We basically mean here that for change to finally occur in the workspace, it's going to take time. It's not something that the business could know. You can expand. And then we do have training costs and time commitment. The cost of hiring professionals and training courses can be costly and may interrupt daily work schedules. It's going to be time costly when it comes to train. We do have training costs and time commitment. The cost of hiring professionals and training courses can be costly and may interrupt the daily work. We do have possible resistance from Moto. If Moto himself does not believe he needs training, he won't fully engage or change his behavior. We're basically saying that if Moto doesn't feel that he needs to change or improve himself, then nothing will happen. The business will just be the same. And then we have number 4, which is possible employee doubt. Staff members who were mistreated will find it difficult to trust that Moto has changed, leading to slow moral recovery. We then move on to the opportunities, which are the external positive factors. Better employee retention. If employees are more happier and respected, employees are more likely to stay, reducing staff turnover costs. Number 2 is possibility of expansion. This new training program can be introduced to other departments, improving teamwork across the organization. Possible partnerships with local training institutions. The organization could partner with leadership training centers or universities in Botswana for affordable local shops. And the threats, which are external negative factors, are economic constraints. If the organization is a small or medium-sized, the business might have to go through a lot of financial pressure and budget cuts, delaying the training plans. High staff expectations. When staff members start to see that there is a change in leadership, they may expect quick improvements in pay or in working conditions. Our last point is going to be a risk of inconsistency. If other leaders don't also adapt to emotional intelligence training, the positive effects may not spread throughout the organization.
Good day, I'm Penny Matita, and I've been taking you through the process of justifying our solution using a smart justification method. One, specific. The program is tailored to specifically mitigate excessive stress and manage cortisol levels through targeted workplace initiatives such as brief mindfulness or relaxation sessions during work hours. Team building exercises to foster communication and trust among diverse team members. Managing workload and allowing flexible breaks to avoid prolonged high cortisol responses. Workshops on emotional intelligence and awareness of diversity to enhance understanding and empathy. These activities target both the hormonal and psychological aspects of stress-related issues, promoting individual and team performance. On point number 2, measurable. The program's effectiveness will be evaluated through employee surveys, measuring stress levels, morale, and job certification before and after the program launch. Performance indicators including productivity rates, error frequencies, and teamwork evaluations. Point number 3, behavioral metrics such as absenteeism and reports of burnout. For instance, we aim to achieve a 15 or 20% reduction in reported stress indicators and corresponding cortisol levels within 3 months of implication. Moving on to point number 3, which is attainable. This program is realistic and feasible given the current organizational resources. The initiatives, e.g. mindfulness sessions, team building activities, workload assessments, require minimal budget and can be overseen by HR or team leaders without necessitating substantial additional infrastructure. A pilot launch in 1 or 2 departments is both practical and allows for iteration and expansion. Moving on to point number 4, which is realistic. This approach recognizes that while stress cannot be completely eliminated in the workplace, it can be effectively managed through healthy coping mechanisms and a supportive organizational culture. Research indicates that varied work demands and limited social support correlate with dysregulated cortisol levels. By adding these factors, the solution aligns with organizational objectives of performance, collaboration, and inclusivity. So, moving on to the last point, which is time frame. Implementation schedule. Phase 1. Months 1 to 3 months. Initiate pilot implementation in selected departments, incorporating mindfulness sessions, workload assessments, team building activities, and baseline data collection. Phase 2, which is 4 months to 6 months. Expand to organization-wide implementation without ongoing support initiatives. Phase 3, months 7 to 12. Assess outcomes using measurable indicators, refine the program, and integrate into standard work practices. This time frame ensures meaningful data collection and promotes behavioral changes alongside measurable adjustments in cortisol response.
I'm Onama Leffe, and I'll be talking about the review and adjustment of the solution. The success of any workplace stress intervention hinges on continuous assessment and adjustment to ensure its effectiveness in minimizing cortisol levels and promoting employee well-being. In Moto's case, assessing the implemented stress management strategy involves analyzing both physiological and behavioral indicators of cortisol reduction among team members. Cortisol, often referred to as the stress hormone, is produced by the adrenal cortex in response to signals from the hypothalamic pituitary adrenaline axis. Consistently elevated cortisol levels can result in fatigue, irritability, reduced motivation, and compromised decision-making, which are symptoms clearly observable within Moto's team. For the efficiency of the selected strategy, such as the implementation of mindfulness-based stress reduction and work-life balance initiatives, the organization should assess its outcomes through both quantitative and qualitative methods. Quantitative measures might include statistics on absenteeism, rates of employee retention, and productivity assessments, whereas qualitative feedback can be gathered through employee surveys, discussion in focus groups, and individual well-being interviews. These techniques will provide important insights into whether the interventions are successfully regulating cortisol levels and enhancing resilience. The method of the review, which is SMART, specific, assess the clear objective of minimizing work-related stress and conditions that trigger cortisol. For example, overwhelming workload or insufficient autonomy. Measurable, implement quarterly health and stress assessments to track employees' satisfaction and physiological markers like burnout or fatigue. Achievable, confirm that intervention objectives such as lowering absenteeism or enhancing communication are attainable within the organization's available resources. Relevant, ensure that stress reduction initiatives align with the organization's aims of productivity, engagement, and employee retention. Then time-bound, plan reviews every 6 months, providing adequate time for interventions to yield observable physiological and behavioral results. If the outcomes following the review indicate limited improvement, adjustments may be necessary, such as enhancing social support systems, providing stress management training programs, or promoting flexible working arrangements. For example, supporting Moto in overcoming his tendency to isolate and avoid social interactions might require leadership coaching focused on developing emotional intelligence and empathy. Fostering open communication and team building activities can activate the oxytocin pathway, which mitigates cortisol's impact and fosters trust and cooperation. Regular assessments should also include tailored plans for individuals on the team who are still facing stress-related challenges. Those plans may involve referrals to counseling, mentorship initiatives, or adjusting workloads. The HR department can support these efforts through wellness initiatives and continuous monitoring of employee morale. In the end, any decisions related to changes ought to be informed by data and involve employee engagement in the assessment process. When employees perceive themselves as valued and supported, cortisol responses are naturally lessened, leading to increased engagement and a more positive workplace culture. By engaging in ongoing evaluation and modification, Botswana Housing Association can develop a workforce that is robust in the face of stress, grounded in evidence-based psychological and physiological methods.
In conclusion, by constantly reviewing and adjusting the solution, Botswana Housing Association can ensure lasting improvement in team performance, employee well-being, and leadership quality. Balancing oxytocin, which is the hormone for trust and bonding, with cortisol, the hormone for stress management, will create a healthier, more motivated, and productive workforce, allowing Moto and his team to thrive in a supportive, emotionally intelligent environment.
Thank you.